Welcome. In this video, we are going to continue editing an about template that we are using to build our Quarto website. And we're going to add some partial page content to that template. So at the moment, let's take a look. Here is our website. So we've added an about template. So this is on our home page by editing the index Quarto doc. And so we added a pic, we added a title, but here was and we added some links down below. So it's starting to look maybe a little more professional. I possibly could have chosen a better picture. But the text here was just the same text that was from the template when we first created this website. So the index document just had some generic stuff just to indicate how you can add links and how you can add a code cell. But I don't want that on my about page. I want to include information about myself. And also notice that all of this text that we have here is formatted similar to the title that we added up here and the image we added up here, and that it's centered. And that looks a little weird, maybe to have centered text down here if I want to add maybe a paragraph or something that describes me. So we're going to use partial page content to edit this section of the web page to just include some text that has some additional information about ourselves. So that's going to appear over here, and then we'll have our image, some text about ourselves, and then we'll have our links down at the bottom. So how we begin partial page content in the YAML of our file, we're going to add this ID : space PPC, or in this case, you can put whatever name you want here. So you can give your ID for the partial page content, whatever you want to call it. I'm doing PPC for partial page content. And then you're going to begin the partial page content wherever in your web page that you want with 3 colons. And then in curly braces, we enter a hashtag and then whatever the ID we gave up here inside the curly braces. So then we can enter some text. Over here, I'm actually going to insert the dog figure that we had. So here's how you insert a figure into your page. And then we'll have some more text down below. So how you enter a figure in these square brackets is going to be caption to the figure. So this is going to appear under the picture. Here is the picture. So that can be a file name, or that can be a link to an image online. So that can be a URL, or that can be a file name. And we have this exclamation point before the square bracket just to indicate that this is going to be text that appears below the figure. If I don't put this exclamation point, then it's going to assume that I just want to show the text over here. And it's going to create a link to this file showing this text, but it's not going to actually show the figure. And so that's what I did actually over here with these. We actually can't see the figures, but we can see the file name and a link. And this link opens up that image. So there are different ways that you can embed an image, and probably you want to see the image. So in this case, you put an exclamation point before it to indicate I want to see that image, and what is in the square brackets is going to appear below the image. Otherwise, we just have regular text over here, and you can format this text using Markdown. So I am going to copy all of this stuff, and this is what I'm going to add to my index page. Coming over here to my index page, I'm going to delete all of this stuff and add my personal page content over here. And I also need to specify the fact that we are adding that content. So I'm going to do that at the same indent level as the template and the image and the links. So this is going to go in the about page. So I'm going to put ID and then PPC. And that needs to be the same ID that I used to start that personal page content here. So hopefully the markdown that I used makes sense. This sort of use of markdown to embed images, this would work in Google Colab as well. So it works the same in Quarto as it does in Jupyter Notebooks. So I'm going to save this, and then I'm going to render this, and then we'll take a look at what happened to the website. So here's our website. We had this image before, we had this title before, we had these links before, and now what we're looking at is we just added this text, and now the text is formatted differently than the previous part of this page, which was centering everything. So in case you're curious, here's the Greater Swiss Mountain Dog. This is my pet Greta. You may have heard her barking in some of these videos. She apologizes. Here's our other dog, Hazel, that we thought we were getting a chocolate lab, but instead we got this amazing dog that is a mixed breed over here. She's looking very festive in this photo. She doesn't normally wear antlers all the time. So now we've got some info about ourselves for someone to come over and check out and learn about us.